Pathmonk is the AI for website conversions. With increasing online competition, over 98% of website visitors don't convert. The ability to successfully show your value proposition and support visitors in the buying journey separates you from the competition online. Pathmonk qualifies and converts leads on your website by figuring out where they are in the buying journey and influencing them in key decision moments with relevant micro experiences like case studies, intro videos, and much more. Stay relevant to your visitors and increase conversions by 50% by adding Pathmonk to your website in seconds, letting the AI do all the work and increase conversions while you keep doing marketing as usual. Check us out on pathmonk.com. All right, everybody, welcome to today's episode of Pathmonk Presents. Today, we are joined by Laricea. She's the Director of Marketing at Objects Jewelry. Laricea, welcome to the show.
Thank you. Thank you for having me, and I'm super excited about our conversation.
Well, likewise, Laricea. Let's get into it right away then. So can you tell us a little bit about your company, its approach to growth and sales, and what makes your brand stands out in the market?
Sure. So I guess I'll start with the latter part of the question because that's the bit I love most. So we've been around since 2019. We're a jewelry brand and the pioneers of the concept of travel ring. So a ring that you would take whilst you're traveling in order to leave your diamond jewelry at home for peace of mind and no stress and just enjoying your holiday. So that's how it all started, and that's kind of the bread and butter of what we do. And we've expanded into all sorts of areas like diamond alternative jewelry in terms of rings, necklaces, earrings, bracelets, etc. So I think that what really makes us different from other brands doing similar things is the quality of our products and the history of the brand, serving since 2019 with over 200,000 happy customers. And overall, we are in a really interesting market position in terms of challenging the diamond brands out there with the question, why would you spend an enormous amount of money on a diamond when you can have an alternative for £150 that's got bigger stones and sparkles, probably more than a diamond. So we've been, entering a completely new niche market and kind of challenging a very well-established industry. And in terms of growth, so we've been growing 20% year on year, pretty steadily. We are a social media first brand with very strong following and lots of fans and going viral every month. So well established in that space. And in terms of e-commerce, obviously this has been the only way of growing through our website, so social media and website. And it's been a continuous journey to kind of grow and learn and test and learn some more and then fail and learn again.
I'm sure. Well, first of all, congrats on the growth, right? That's pretty impressive, to be honest, 20%. And the other thing was about this, kind of caught my attention really, is essentially you're in the replica business in a way, right?
Yes. Alternative diamonds, yeah.
Right, exactly. And also, it also acts as an insurance policy for your let's say engagement ring or your wedding band or whatever the case may be. And I think, unfortunately, many of the people that come to you, it might be too late. They don't want to lose their the ring again or get it stolen, whatever the case. But it's good to have it, right? So I'm definitely, personally speaking, this is something I'm going to recommend to my wife because I don't want her to lose my gifts throughout the years. So.
Absolutely. And then it's funny because people who got married a few years ago, including my husband, were all wondering where were objects back then and why didn't we know about objects? Because if we would have known, we would haven't spent for sure that much money on my engagement ring, because I've done a lot of, as you can imagine, for social media comparisons. This is real, this is objects. Can you tell the difference? No, you can't, because only a gemologist can. So it's a very, very interesting industry.
Yeah, absolutely. Now, I want to touch on something you said in the beginning, which is you're a social media first company when it comes to promotion and sales, I would assume. But I'm also curious, how crucial is your website in your overall e-commerce strategy? And maybe if you can touch on its strengths and what do you see room for improvement?
So I guess that it sits at the core of our recruitment. So we do not sell via social media. So we do run paid media campaigns and obviously deploy other marketing tactics. However, the only way people can buy from us is from the website. We don't have an app, so we are 100% website based, with I would say 95% of our traffic coming from mobile, as you would expect in this day and age. And in terms of how do we bring these people to websites, so I would say it's around 80% social media. And then there's the halo effect of social media, the brand awareness halo effect, as I call it, that people, and especially it's very interesting, it's a trend that I've been noticing. So younger generations do not click. So they see the ad, they acknowledge the brand, they go and search on Google. Or they search on review sites directly, or they go on Reddit, or they don't actually click on ads. So it's a very interesting trend that we've been seeing. So you've got to make sure that your reputation is impeccable out there on the internet. Is not just how you look on Google, or how your ads look on social media, but it's also the other sources, reputation reputable sources, that people go and check, especially given the times we live in, where there are so many scams and there are so many brands popping out, especially on
Yeah.
social media. And then you pay for something, you never get your order, or you get something super cheap and awful. And especially in the industry we're in, there are a lot of brands like that, unfortunately. So people are very skeptical. So the website sits at the core, and then we've got a collection of touch points, where it's just about the presence, but we're not selling anything there. So it's 100% through our website, and it's definitely the number one focus in terms of the user experience, and how they interact and engage with the brand.
Right. Let's stay on the user experience subject for a second. From your perspective, what do you think are the key elements of a high converting e-commerce site when it comes to the UX? Even behind the scenes, let's say, if you have any tools you can recommend, any tactics, strategies that you rely on for converting more, and breaking through the noise, so to speak. Yeah, that would be great.
Sure. So I think the first part of the question in terms of the success, so I guess that it's testing, testing, and testing, and literally testing every day, because something might go wrong at any point and like destroy your journey. So I guess that it's making sure that at any point of the journey, so from clicking on an ad to actually landing on your website to the point they check out, it's seamless and it's not interrupted, and it's not bombarded with other things, and it's easy and it's convenient, and it doesn't make them think twice about that. But on the contrary, it fuels them to probably add something else that would make sense, but not something that then would take them away from the last step. So there's a lot of and we've tested a lot of things, like add this to your cart to get to whatever. Is it a distraction, or does it really work? Is it taking people away from the actual conversion? So it's a lot of test and learn. I think this is definitely the key of success, and I think it's also that, and combined with understanding your data, because there's so much of it everywhere. So understanding your data and using it to personalize that user journey. Now I've got to admit that we are far away from reaching the level of personalization I would love to, and it's work in progress. We're still a young brand with a small but mighty team. So we are getting there, but in my view, and from my experience, I've got 15 years in marketing, and most of them in e-commerce. I think it's definitely crucial to have this combination of continuous testing and optimizing the journey, with utilizing your data as much as possible in order to personalize this, because we're all different and we all have different triggers that would make us buy. So if for someone, for example, annoys the crap out of them when they see yet another offer to add to the cart, to get to £100, to get free shipping, and la 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 la, all that craziness, for someone else, like, oh my god, this is so exciting, I'm going to do this and I'm going to do that. And so everyone is different, and you've got to respect that. So it's not one works for all, and unfortunately a lot of brands these days still do that. Some because they don't have capacity, others because they just don't understand the data or make the most of it. But yeah. And then regarding the second part of the question was around tools. So I don't have any, probably no big revelations here, but I would say we use a lot Hotjar to understand the user's journey and to make decisions about moving menus, moving pages, moving tiles, what pages to bring to the front, etc., etc. We also use something called fairing, which I found really interesting. So it's a questionnaire you can add at the end of the checkout. So after they checked out, so you're safe, you're not going to disturb them. You ask them whatever questions you like. And we've gathered so many interesting insights from that, because you'd be surprised. A lot of people actually respond. There's no incentive for them. It's just, a question or two questions, and they have to select. So we've learned so much in terms of, why are you buying from objects? And from there, we extrapolated the reasons for buying in order to create hooks for ads for social media. So that was exceptionally useful, or to create ideas for content for organic that then went viral. So it's just, I think that everything is so connected and so linked together, and the more you can bring different touch points and different data points together, the more successful you're going to be.
Okay, thanks for sharing that wisdom, and I appreciate you touching on, obviously with being for 15 years, more than 15 years in the space, you've seen a lot of trends, and what you mentioned sometimes, the tactics, let's say, that you mentioned, that kind of bombard the user in a way. Sometimes it's they're still doing it because it's the way it's been done. But I guess sometimes it's also a little bit of laziness on the team side, just not to kind of dare a little bit and try new things. We just do that, right? So I guess that was a good point. So let's switch gears for a second, Laricea. I want to talk about you as a leader, and I want to jump into our rapid fire segment of our podcast. So we do this to keep things light and engaging. And the only let's say rule that we have is that for a concise answer, we expect a concise question. For a concise question, rather, we expect a concise answer. Is that okay with you?
Yeah, perfect.
All right, let's do it. So tell us maybe the top 3 things that you focus on your day-to-day.
So it's revenue, revenue. No, I'm joking. So it's revenue, revenue, all our own channels, and team well-being.
Okay. Now, in terms of content, do you prefer reading, watching, or listening?
Reading and watching.
Okay, so what's the latest piece of content, whether it's video or an article or book that you picked up? Were there any gems or ideas that really stuck with you?
I'm subscribed, obviously, because we spend so much on social media. I'm subscribed to all the Meta. I know it is not very exciting, but I'm subscribed to their communications. And the latest one was an incredible piece of advice. It was a video, like a 20 minutes video, on how to make the most of your Reels data in order to get them to perform better. And it was absolutely fascinating. I watched it, kind of skipped through 15 minutes, and then I went and actually tested that, and it worked really well. There's another person on this topic. It's called Dara Devini. She's kind of an institution for like Meta ads, and anything I read from her, or I'm watching her videos, it's exceptionally. So for any of your listeners who are heavy on paid social, I would definitely suggest having a look there, because she does very short videos that are exceptionally useful in your analysis and in your campaigns.
Okay, thanks for sharing that. Absolutely. I'm sure that some people will go and follow right away. Now, if you had a magic wand, Laricea, and you could fix one frustrating thing in your marketing life with tech, what would it be?
Yeah, I would look at attribution. So yeah, it would definitely be attribution. So if I would have the magic wand, I would ask it to give me the correct attribution, including all the channels I'm running marketing on. that would be my absolute dream. And this is a smaller task now, but imagine the previous roles I had: out of home, I had, you name it, TV, partnerships, influencers, all the channels, radio, press. So imagine that. So this is a smaller scale one, but yeah, that's what I would ask for. So correct attribution of the correct channel, no matter where people were targeted, offline, online, and whereabouts in the whole journey. Just
Right.
let me know who actually generated this sale in truthness, not last click.
Right. Okay. That's a good one, and I'm sure a ton of marketers out there will relate to this one, because it's been hard to crack, right? It's been hard to crack for sure.
Yeah.
Now, Laricea, I want to thank you for being on the show with us today. I also want to give you the last word. So, if someone forgets everything about the interview today, what is the one thing that they should remember about your company and the work you guys are doing?
So I guess it's to be bold. So we are small and mighty, and we are bold in the sense that we are pioneering new ideas, new uses of already existing products in this world, and we are bold about it. We're shouting hard and loud about it, and I think that comes from a desire to really make sure that we are different in an industry that has, as I said, at least 25 other brands that claim to do exactly the same. Make sure you find your own little niche, and then you've got enough proof that you can own that niche because of what you're doing, and you're very good at what you're doing, and drive with that, and be bold, even though you're going to get a lot of conversations and reactions on social media. I mean, we get a lot of the questions like, so then why do you have a diamond ring if you're not going to wear it? But all PR is good PR, right? So these conversations sparkle, and then people start discussing, and then this is how they start talking about the company, etc. So I would say, yeah, find your USPs, clearly find your USPs, and really play on those, and formulate a proper brand strategy on that, and drive it, because this is the only way of kind of like being famous for something or pioneering something.
Awesome. What a way to close. Thank you so much again. And if anyone wants to check out Objects Jewelry, where should they go?
Objectsjewelry.com, obviously the website, and then we are at Objects Jewelry on Instagram and TikTok and Facebook and YouTube. So yeah, we are pretty much everywhere. And yeah, come and check us out, because it's quite addictive, I would say. Once you're in, because it's a great brand.
Amazing. Laricea, thank you again. And I wish you a wonderful day. It looks like sunny in London right now, so enjoy that while it lasts, and have a beautiful rest of the week.
Absolutely. Thank you for having me, and yeah, all the best with the podcast, and thank you for listening to all your listeners.
Of course. Thank you. Bye, everybody.
Thank you. Bye.